Pages 277, 278 and 279. This is from Telfair, 1696. The Ringcroft Poltergeist, 1695. I have undertaken this following narrative, having been an eye and ear witness myself to many of the things herein related. Alexander Telfair, Minister of the Parish of Rerick. Pages 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Andrew Mackey of Ringcroft in the parish of Rerick, having found some young cattle of his always let loose, removed those same to another house. Yet the very first night after, he found one of the beasts tied with an hair rope to one of the beams, so light that its feet only touched the ground. And so it also did tie some together in pairs by the neck, with ropes made of straw that it had taken from the stable, and it left some ropes behind, which it did not make use of. Some days after, the family, being all without doors, the children coming in saw something like a person sitting by the fire, with a blanket about it, which frightened all of them but the youngest, who chid the rest for being afraid. And perceiving the blanket to be his own, he runs and pulls the blanket away, but found nothing under it save a 3-footed stool, turned upside down. It wounded the above-named Andrew Mackey, the master of the family, on the forehead, and thrust him several times by the shoulders, which, he seeming not to regard, it caught him by the hair, and he felt something like the nails of one's fingers scratch the skin of his head. And sometimes it would drag people about the house by their clothes. Mr. Andrew Errett, minister of Kells, and Mr. John Sixsmith, minister of Carsmichael, went to the house and spent that night in fasting and prayer, during which time it was very outrageous, and threw great stones, some of them weighing 6 pounds. It wounded Mr. Andrew Errett thrice in the head, and pulled off his wig in time of prayer. The pothooks and hanger were carried out of the chimney, and being wanted some days, they found them at last in a cockloft. The master's wife, she found a broad stone near the door of the house shake under her foot, and which she had never perceived to be loose before, whereupon she resolved to see what was beneath, and accordingly took up the stone, under which she found 6 small bones, some with blood and flesh, wrapped up in a piece of old sullied paper. But being troubled and frightened at the sight thereof, she laid them down again, during which time the spirit raged more than ever, throwing stones and fireballs, and set the house twice on fire. But it was speedily quenched by the assistance of neighbours. And in the middle of the day, all those persons then alive who had inhabited the house since it was built were ordered by the civil magistrate to appear before the Laird of Colleen, because there was some suspicion that a secret murder had been committed in the place, and they were all of them obliged to touch the bones. But no discovery was thereby made. Yet a letter was found, written and sealed with blood, which did say, "Woe be to Scotland! Repent and take warning, for the door of haven is already barred against thee. I am sent for a warning to thee to flee to God. Repent, Scotland, or else thou shalt."